Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and I'm a first-generation student. I come from a family of 7. I have 6 brothers and me. My dad was a brick mason, and my mother worked for the Employment Development Department actually for 40 years until her death. My parents didn't actually encourage me to go to college. They said I was welcome to go to college, but I had a wonderful job at Cal State Fullerton. So my mother thought, hey, you have a state job, you don't need to further your education. I worked for Disabled Student Services at Cal State Fullerton, and I have had a lot of wonderful colleagues there, including my wonderful boss, who encouraged me to go back to school, along with my husband and my kids. One of my friends said, just go for one semester. Take one class, one semester, and see if you like it. Well, I went back to school very late in life, very late in my 40s. So I took that one class, and I was very intimidated because I was an older student. I thought I was too old to learn anything, but I was very wrong because I absolutely enjoyed my first class and I was hooked on education. I went to Fullerton College, and then I transferred to Cal State Fullerton, where I obtained my bachelor's degree in American Studies. I love learning about the culture of America, and I thought I was going to be a history teacher, but my teachers discouraged me and said maybe I should try something else. Well, I found out I have a math disability, math dyscalculia. I had no idea. I just thought I was dumb in math, but I was tested and found this to be true, and so I was given a course substitution, and I took critical reading. And then I decided I wanted to be a reading teacher. So I continued at Cal State Fullerton and got my Master's of Science in Education with an emphasis in reading. My mother ultimately was very proud of me for going to school. Sorry, I tear up when I think about my mother because I don't have her anymore. My dad was very excited. He started calling me professor. So, and then what I think is the most wonderful part of going back to school is I have 4 children, and I was able to encourage them to go to school. And one of them, we even took classes together, and she said that I was her inspiration to go to school, and she got her bachelor's and her master's, and today she's a marriage and family therapist. To me, the icing on the cake is to see my kids also achieve education. It was very intimidating for me. However, I had wonderful professors at Cal State Fullerton in the American Studies department. I got to know a lot of my professors, and they liked that I was older. They said they appreciated that, and they also liked that I brought conservative viewpoints into the classroom. My teachers were all liberal, so they liked having someone in the classroom that differed with what they believed in. So we had some really great conversations, but they really inspired me, my American Studies professors at Cal State Fullerton. I always tell my story to my students so that they will be encouraged. You know, I let them know that I too was very scared when I first started taking classes. I'm a very shy person by nature, but being a little older, I'm not quite as shy. So I let them know, though, that I am shy, and I think it helps other shy students because I have a lot of shy students, I always have. So I think it helps to encourage them to speak up. And as a result, I also do a lot of small group work because I'm hoping that students will get to know each other and become more comfortable within the classroom by having small groups where they can speak with 3 or 4 other people instead of speaking to 30 people. And most of my classes I would say all of my classes actually enjoy the small group discussions. You know, my youngest brother also went to school, and his dad was a laborer, and he totally discouraged him. He really literally said, go get a job, forget about going to school. And I would say to parents, encourage your children to go to school instead. You know, even if they can just go part-time. I know especially here in Porterville, The students here are so family oriented. You know, they take their siblings to school or to doctor appointments, or when their parents have to go to the hospital, they're there for their parents. And I really admire the family orientation that I see here at Porterville. But I really encourage parents to support their children to get an education. Getting an education totally changed my life. In my late 40s, my life was totally changed by having an education. I always had very decent jobs, but to me they were very boring. I didn't enjoy them. And I could only make so much money by not having an education. Once I got my education, everything changed. Everything, you know, I'll never be a millionaire, but I live comfortably, and I think students should really try to hang in there, and there'll be bumps. There'll always be bumps, but just persevere. Just, you know, even if you do take that 1 or 2 classes a semester to see how you do, and then, you know, maybe progress to full-time. I think it's so worthwhile to get an education. It was one of the best things I've ever done in my life, and I'm really glad that I got an education.